Chapter number 7, Understanding Marginalization. This is the next chapter of civics, and today we'll start part 1 of this chapter, Understanding Marginalization. First of all, we should know the meaning of marginalization. Marginalization, we can say this is the separation of somebody, some group, and some people from the rest of the part of society. So that is marginalization, separation of people. What does it mean to be socially marginalized? Socially, society is based on various kinds of differences. Many differences are found in society on the basis of caste, language, right? Culture. So this is also a base of marginalization in the society. That is the base of differences. Different cultures are followed in the society by different groups. Different languages are spoken, different customs are used, different traditions are followed. Clear? So different castes are there, different religions are there. So differences are found in the society on various bases. If on these bases social divisions occurs or social divisions takes place, so it can lead to socially marginalization, or the group will be socially marginalized. Clear? As you can see in the society, that on the basis of economic status, on the basis of economic status, the people are separated from the rest of the part of the society. For instance, the poor people are not included, are not involved in the functioning, in the cultural activities, or in the various kinds of relationship with the rich people. So they are marginalized or separated from the society on the basis of economic status. Now we'll read this storyline. Adivasis and marginalization. And Adivasi family in Delhi. Soma and Helen are watching the Republic Day parade on TV with their grandfather. This is the TV and the children are watching the TV. Oh, see, Adivasi float. Then the girl is asking, Dadu, why do they always show Adivasis as only dancing? Yes, don't they know anything else about us? Then Dadu is saying, the lives of Adivasis are very rich. Most people don't know that. And further, he is explaining, when I was young, our village in Odisha was beautiful. We got everything we needed from the land and the forest around us. We in turn respected the land, the forest, the river. So Dadu belonged to the tribal group of Odisha, and he is explaining that the tribal people live in the forest. Clear? And forests are like their homes. They get everything from the land in the forest and the various types of resources available in the forest. Different commodities are collected by the people. They live in the forest. By living in the forest, and they got everything in the forest. Clear? And in return, they respected the land, forest, the river. It means all the natural resources. Certainly, we were told that, further he is explaining, the forest was not ours. Forest officials and contractors cut down large parts of it. If we protested, they beat us, then took us to court, where we did not have our lawyers and could not fight our cases. So in this way, they were expelled from the forest. Forests were like their home, but now they were expelled through the by the forest laws passed by the government, and forest officials and contractors expelled them from the forest. Then How did you survive, Dadu? The girl is asking. He's explaining that many of us were forced to leave our homes and find seasonal work in nearby towns. So these kinds of works were done by the people, tribal people. Then the company walas came, they said there was iron ore under our land. They wanted to mine it. They promised jobs and money. If we sold our land to them, some villagers were excited because they wanted money, right? And in this excitement, they sold their land to the company walas. Others said this would destroy our lives and we would get nothing. Some gave thumbprints, not realizing they were selling their lands off. Only a few were given token jobs, but most of us did not sell. So, in this way, this policy was adopted by the people in the tribal group. Then they beat and threatened us. Still, eventually, everyone was forced to sell and abandon the land of their forefathers. They had the support of the authorities. Our whole way of living vanished overnight because the land was means taken away. In one way, we can say that the land was taken away of the tribal people by the company walas and the government. Oh, Dadu, and our land, what? For our 30 acres, we got a little money from one contractor. I never saw most of my friends again. So, this was the destruction of the life of tribal people in Odisha. And then the money hardly lasted in the city. We had no means of livelihood anymore. We were all cramped into a tiny rented room. How we missed our carefree lives, the open spaces. They completely missed because their land was taken away. And then, after a few years, your father got a job in Delhi and we all moved here. Those were very difficult times. That's why both of you did not go to school for several years due to this displacement. So the tribal people also faced this kind of problem during their displacement. They were expelled from the forest, and due to the displacement of the tribal people, their lives were completely affected. I hated going back to school, the boy is saying. We had missed so much of our studies and other children make fun of us. We spoke Santhali at home. So definitely this group is belonging to Santhali at home and did not know Hindi. But now we have friends. I can even spoke some English now, the girl is saying. I wish I could have shown my friends our village before it was destroyed. You can still tell them about our village. It has a lot to teach them. And then girl is saying, one day I will make a movie on this story, our story, the Adivasi story. So dear students, I hope that you are understanding and understood slight about Adivasi life, how the Adivasis were expelled from the forest and what kind of difficulties they faced, right, in Odisha particularly. And you just read about how Dadu was forced to leave his village in Odisha. Dadu's story is similar to the lives of millions of Adivasis in India. You will read more about the marginalization of this community in this chapter. Now, who are Adivasis? Adivasis are the people, they live in the forest. So the term literally means original inhabitants. So originally inhabitants in the forest, inhabitant in the forest are communities who lived and often continue to live in close association with forest, means nature. Around 8% of India's population is Adivasi, and many of India's most important mining industrial centers are located in Adivasi areas like Jamshedpur, this is Adivasi area. Raurkela, situated in Odisha. Jamshedpur is situated in Jharkhand. Bokaro, also situated in Jharkhand. Bhilai is situated in Chhattisgarh, among others. So Adivasis are not a homogeneous population, they are different from each other. there are over 500 different kinds of Adivasi groups. They are not equal in their appearance, they are different, right? So they are not homogeneous. Adivasis are particularly numerous in states like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, and northeastern states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya. In Meghalaya, like Garo people live, and Jaintia community, Hajong community. In Mizoram, Mizo people live, Naga people in Nagaland. Tripura, a state like Odisha, is home to more than 60 different tribal groups. In alone Odisha, 60 different tribal groups are found. Adivasi societies are also most distinctive because there is often very little hierarchy among them, right? Means they are free from the hierarchical system. Means casteism is very less is there among the Adivasis. So this makes them radically different from communities organized around principles of Jati Varna. So they are not following the casteism or those that were ruled by kings. Adivasis practice a range of tribal religions that are different from Islam, Hinduism, and Christianity. What kind of religion is there? They worship the natural resources. These often involve the worship of ancestors, village, nature, spirits, the last associated with and residing in various sites in the landscape, mountain spirits, river spirits, animal spirits, etc. So their religion is very different from that of Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Jainism, etc. The village spirits are often worshipped at specific sacred groves within the village boundary, while the ancestral ones are usually worshipped at home. Additionally, Adivasis have always been influenced by different surrounding religions like Shakta, Buddhist, Vaishnav, Bhakti, and Christianity. Similarly, Adivasi religions themselves have influenced dominant religions of the empires around them. For example, the Jagannath cult of Odisha. Jagannath temple is there in Puri in Odisha. So Jagannath cult of Odisha and Shakti and Tantric traditions in Bengal and Assam. During the 19th century, substantial numbers of Adivasis converted to Christianity. So many there is a very big number of people who are Christians in northeastern states of India because of this thing, which has emerged as a very important religion in modern Adivasi history. Adivasis have their own language, most of them radically different from and possibly as old as Sanskrit, which have often deeply influenced the formation of mainstream Indian language like Bengali. Santhali has the largest number of speakers and has a significant body of publications, including magazines on the internet or in e-giants, right? So, dear students, Adivasis have their own language, right? These languages are different from our languages. They are written in different scripts, and they are like you can see this image, these two images of tribal communities in their traditional costumes are often the only way in which Adivasi communities are represented. This then leads us to think of them as being exotic and backward. So if you see these kinds of people in these dresses or traditional wearings, then we'll think about these people are backward and exotic. So this is the stereotyping about which we will discuss in the next video. So by the time you have to read from the textbook and watch this video. Thank you.